Here I'm asked to use the functions at the right to evaluate each of the following expressions. So my first function here is f of x, which is an equation. And then I have the second function g of x, which is still a function, but just a table instead. But they're still just dealing with x's and putting in a value and then getting an output. So in our first one here, it says f of g of 1. I'm going to first try and evaluate g of 1, which is going to give me an output of negative 9. So really, this becomes f of negative 9, which I would now just plug into the function f, or this equation over here. It gives me 36 minus 10, which f of g of 1 is just equal to 26. The next one says gf negative 1, so inverse of f of g of negative 3. So when I do this one in green here, I'm going to look for negative 3. Looks like it output here is negative 4. And then what I have here is the inverse of negative 4. And so when I do that, remember that I'm plugging in the negative 4 not in for x, but you're plugging it in for f of x. And so what we end up getting is negative 4 equals negative 4x minus 10. And now we solve this. So we add 10 to both sides and then divide both sides by negative 4. And then make that simplified, so negative 3 halves. So in that one, for b, the inverse of f of g of negative 3 is negative 3 over 2. Last one here says the inverse of g of the inverse of f of negative 6. And so the first thing that we do is we're going to do that equation. So negative 6 equals negative 4x minus 10. And I'm going to solve. So add 10 to both sides to get 4. Divide by negative 4 to get negative 1. So what that means is that we now have g negative 1 of negative 1. And so the output here of the function is going to be negative 1, and I have to find the input. And so I'm really looking at this column. When is that equal to negative 1? And I see that it is when x is negative 2. So my final answer for C is negative 2.